Hey, how we doing, guys? How's it going? I decided to do something kind of special today. I wanted to record the podcast as is for the Monday night thing that we got going on, but I was only going to kind of test out the live aspect. But today, it turned out that it was easier to do it live. I'm kind of more uh, um, like I get it now. It being going live is much easier than just recording it, editing it. I don't know. It just makes sense with the idea of why I started doing the podcast in the first place. Because when you do the vlogs, you edit everything, you get everything right. But with the vlogs, with the podcast, it's just you just say what you're saying. It's kind of nonsense. It's pretty fun most of the time, and then it just goes up. That's the beauty of the podcast. In many, many ways, I love the podcast more than the vlogs. But we all know the vlogs are my bread and butter. What I'm trying to say is this is a surprise podcast. Welcome, everybody. I'm so glad you're here. I did not intend to do this as like a haha, you should have known about this, but I'm glad you're here. And let's just call it a lucky accident. But I just had one of the best Sundays ever. I feel great. I think this is the best sort of run of vlogs that I've had going in over a year. I'll be honest with that. You know, it's always been fun, you know, with all the tours, you know, snacks come in and all that stuff. But this run of vlogs is truly, not only is it just one of the best parts of my life, it's seamless in the way that I should have done this day off thing a long time ago. It really, it's the secret. Because my son, I woke up, it's me, Valentina, Mark, you know, loved ones, family, and then Travis. We went to breakfast. And then Valentina did her thing, went to work, and me, Travis, and Mark just watched football, talking fantasy, talking this, talking life, talking what's next. And it was a really, really good time. It's just nice to have those Sundays that reset. But unfortunately, Mark is now gone, but not for long. I mean, we had him for a while. A week is a long time nowadays, especially with the new job that he's got going on. But he's still in the Air Force as a firefighter, but he's just, like I said, he's paralleled into a different style of work there. So it's nice to see Mark for an extended period of time, but we're also going to see him for Christmas. So that's a week with Mark, 3 weeks without, another week with Mark. And that's the best part of this time of year. It's all about being with family. And I'm telling you, the older you get, it is true. You know what I mean? It's like as cliche as like you like broccoli. Once you round the bases, you start putting broccoli in all your meals. It becomes less about material things and possessions, and you truly care about being with the ones that you love. And I can see it happening right before my eyes. So I'm stoked about that. I'm stoked about Mark being home. We did all kinds of random stuff that like we didn't talk about before he got here. Like Frisbee golf. And if you watch the vlogs, I'm not knocking Frisbee golf. I'm not saying it's a nerd sport, but I'll be honest with you. It's a sport that I never saw myself playing. I thought I would always tell myself, like, why don't we just go play real golf? It's hard enough as it is. Learn how to play the game. It's going to help you when you're older, especially if you're trying to make business deals with with other people who run car dealerships or whatever. But I just thought it'd be a good idea to learn how to play real golf. But Frisbee golf was way more fun than I expected. And well, let's just be honest, that stranger that followed us, he added quite the dynamic. But it was super fun. And then also, I didn't plan on learning another game, dominoes. Does anybody play dominoes anymore? Dominoes is amazing. Valentina's sitting over here watching. She's having a glass of wine with a glowing smile, just looking at me. How many games of dominoes did we play this past week? Like 20, 30? And, you know, they're not short games. It's a fun game to play. I think that's the secret to bridging the gap of the millennial generation. What's that?
I won all of them.
Oh, yeah. Valentina wants you to know that she won all of them. I think that's the secret to bridging the millennial gap with the older generation is we as young people, I wouldn't quite consider myself millennial, but as young people, we should all learn how to play dominoes and have a conversation. It's the secret. I found the secret to all the problems. No, I'm just kidding. But it's a fun game. I'm just on the topic of weird things I didn't think I was going to enjoy, but now enjoy, aka this tiny metaphor for life, dominoes and Frisbee golf. Who knew? Who knew that those were things that I was going to be super stoked for? But like I said, I'm going to miss Mark. It was really great having him here. Just he's the same as me in many different ways, and he's different, and it's great just having him around. He bought me a tile. You guys know the company Tile? I'm not getting paid to say this. Tile is amazing. I mean, if one of my tiles breaks, I'm probably going to call them, and they're going to tell me to go F myself. I would still be like, that's all right. You're the greatest company in the world. You know, you have found the niche for my single biggest problem. And this should have been invented the second Bluetooth was invented. Bluetooth was around in like the early 2000s, and they just now came up with Tile. Get out of here. I love. Some people don't know what it is. Okay. Tile is a little device that started out as like kind of a block, like the size of a domino, if I can just do an instant callback, that you would put on your keychain, you'd put on all kinds of stuff that you didn't want to lose, and you could make it beep with your phone, and your phone could kind of locate it within a Bluetooth range, which is no more than 30 feet, but enough to help you if you're like, is it under the couch or is it at my friend's house 2 hours away? So it's good for that. Anyway, as you know, I lose a ton of stuff. But they just came out with like the Tile that's like the credit card sized, and I had like one of the big blocky ones in my wallet, and it's kind of like I would sit down wrong and be like, it's worth it. It's worth it. It's worth it. But Mark just bought me one of the credit card sized ones, and she's like, dude, you should have this. It's a 2-pack. I'll take one. You take one. We're not going to lose our wallets again. We're going to lose our wallets again, but this will definitely help like the next 4 encounters. In that 5th one, it's just going to be like on an airplane to Zimbabwe somehow, and we're never going to see it again, and there's nothing we could do. No Tile in the world could help you with that. But it was awesome having Mark around, and I really do miss him. But just starting off my week right, in the same sense that I love having Mark around, it's kind of nice to get back to real life. Valentina has the most guilty smile on her face right now because I'm sure Mark feels the same way. You know, he's staying on my couch, and as comfortable as it is, you're staying on your couch, you know, and it's just, it's a different vibe. But now the house is like a bit less cluttered. We love Cooper. Cooper's the best dog ever. He belongs in a dog show, and I bet he'd win a lot of awards, and he melts a lot of hearts, but he knew how to rile up the fan base. Just every time he came in, Buddy was going nuts. He's like, everything's covered in drool because he's so happy. I love the dog. I've never owned a big dog before. Like, as you guys know, Buddy was my first dog. You know, he's like, what, 20 pounds? He's a little guy. Wait, 20 pounds? What am I talking about? He's 12. He's like 12, 13 pounds. And Cooper's like 55 and still less than a year old. So the dynamic is crazy. And I love him. It's just when you're not ready for it, you notice it. That's all. But it's nice to have the privacy back. It's great. You know? With that being said, just kind of getting back into my week. And today is kind of an American holiday. Not really, but I feel like it's a holiday the rest of the world doesn't understand, that we cherish. It's Cyber Monday. One of the, if not the biggest shopping day of the year online. And I'm just going to come right out and say it. This is the worst Cyber Monday I've ever witnessed. And I'm not truly taken back. I'm not like offended. But there have been some years where I would sign on and Amazon would be like, hey, do you want like, you know, everything you're asking for your family and friends for 50% off? And you just kind of find everything right there. And you're just like, wow, this is amazing. So I mean, Cyber Monday is great. Like, I understand the chaos, but like, you know, it's kind of worth it. Like, not only do I get it done early, I save money, bam. I went on this year, today. If you're watching right now, this is the beauty of live. If you're going right now, go on Amazon. Like the featured items they have is like a Nordic track and a router. And I don't think, and I think like there's like a $400 blender that went down to $200. I'm not going to buy that stuff. They're more not obscure items. They're just items that like, I don't think I'm ever going to buy. You know what I mean? I can't I can't get excited about this year's Cyber Monday. I think last year was it was great. I believe I got all my Christmas shopping done right then and there. But does anybody feel me? And I'm sorry if you're watching this on my page. The way that this interface is that I'm looking at on my computer, I don't see YouTube comments. So if you're commenting there, I don't see them. As a matter of fact, I don't see any comments. But amongst yourselves, am I crazy? Or is this just like a super, super weak Cyber Monday? Maybe I'm not checking out the right places. I only went to Amazon. I don't know. Maybe I need to go to like, HomeDepot.com and check out the lumber prices. Maybe I'm just not doing it right. But anyways, it feels weak, but just kind of had like a nice day. Back to myself, back to getting in the grind. We worked out. I'm sorry. I sat down. I did not plan on doing a live video podcast. You have to understand, like, I did not plan this. I was just like, you know what? It's like 5 extra steps to do it and edit it and upload it. Why don't I just hit record and make some people happy? But we just got done working out, and it's about time to cook some steaks. I wish you could see my audience. My audience is Valentina, just like constantly nodding her head like, yeah. Cyber Monday did suck. She's the best. But I figured we'd just do an old podcast tradition. I don't know how long this is going to be. Where am I at right now? I got no indicator of time, but I'm going to go into some Today I Learned and let you guys do your thing. I think this will be available online after I do this. And sorry, I will always, I'll try and announce this before I do it. I think we're both leaning towards, we're all leaning towards the idea that this live thing might be it. This just might be the new format of the Danny Duncan show. It's easier for me. It's more exciting for you. Again, sorry to the UK. All you insomniacs over there are watching this, and glad you can catch on. But maybe we'll find a different time. I think we'll start to lean towards like 5 o'clock, even though it's kind of a weird time. 5 o'clock, that way the people in the UK and all that can watch. And we've got a lot of fans over there. That was Australian. I'm sorry. Anyway, let's get into it. I'm going to pull up some Today I Learns that I picked up, and I'm not going to lie. As I was researching these, I did a lot of chin rubbing. A lot of like, oh, that's interesting, as I'm sure you do. But if you're driving right now, keep both hands on the wheel. Anyway, today I learned the Tesla Model S, that its roof is so strong it broke the testing machine used to crush car roofs. Can somebody tell me why Elon Musk is not like the greatest inventor in the world right now? Somebody tell me something. Does he, I don't know. What does he do? Somebody give me a reason to not believe that he's like one of the greatest human beings alive right now. Does he club baby seals in his downtime? What usually people this cool and this amazing, there's a matter of time before some skeletons in the closet come out. But when he's not inventing the coolest cars ever made, he's sending rockets into space and privatizing the space industry in the coolest way and giving us really great ideas of the future. But that is just like, it's a cherry on top of the greatest electric car, which I think we all agree is just a necessity. We need to move in that direction. And it's durable. It broke the machine that tests crush car roofs. Wait, so what is that a thing for? Is that for, that's for, okay, like if you're getting in a wreck, if you're rolling in the middle of an intersection, like how is it going to withhold? Makes sense. I don't know. Again, I'm not like sponsored by Tesla. I'm not saying buy that car because you won't ever die. I'm just reading the facts. It's pretty impressive that this thing broke the machine. Got to hand it to Tesla, as if it wasn't one of the best companies out there as far as cars go. Moving along. This one's kind of weird. You ever get the feeling that somebody in your group is a psychopath? There is a test now, according to this page that I read on Reddit. Today I learned psychopaths aren't affected by the contagiousness of yawning. You know when you yawn, Valentino, like that one. When you yawn, I don't know what it is, there's something subconscious or unconscious in our brain that like sees yawning. And I don't know if it's the pressure change in the room or what's going on, what makes everybody yawn. But psychopaths, it feels like they're so disengaged from your unconscious and subconscious understanding of like social behavior. They don't even yawn when everybody else is. So if you want to say like, hey, I think this guy's a psychopath, it's a simple test. Just stare him right in the face and yawn. And if that person doesn't yawn, it's confirmed they're a psychopath. Call the cops. That feels like one of those things where I can get in a lot of trouble. Don't call the cops. I don't read. Don't cite me as somebody who is a means of citing. I'm not a source for anything medical. I just think that there's a study out there worth mentioning where psychopaths aren't affected by the contagiousness of yawning. It's at least fun. Just yawn in the room. See who doesn't yawn. And then you can at least start a rumor about him. Anyway, today I learned that amid widespread chocolate shortage in World War II, Pietro Ferrero sought to create a chocolate treat that would be affordable for struggling families. The result was Super Crema, a spread with just a little bit of chocolate and a lot of hazelnuts. We now call it Nutella. Does anybody like Nutella?
I don't.
Okay. Valentina and I do not like Nutella. I don't think it's disgusting. I just have this problem with Nutella. It's like when I eat gluten-free cookies or something like that. Like, it's just almost there. It's the same part of my brain that reacts when like you have to sneeze and then you can't sneeze and you're just kind of like, I really wanted that sneeze. That would have been nice. Nutella, I taste it, and this makes a lot of sense because I want chocolate at that point. It's just like I kind of wish this was toast with a Hershey bar melted on it, but it's not quite. But there are people that are obsessed with Nutella. People that it is its own culture. It just makes you realize that the gene pool it is separated in many infinite different ways, and there are people that love Nutella. I don't think they're weird. It's crazy that is something. Like there's people who hate cilantro. Have you seen there are people who think cilantro, which is the most beautiful cooking herb ever. It makes anything Mexican or Latin American as far as culinary cuisine goes. It makes it taste so much better, and other things. But there are people who think that it tastes like you just sprayed a bottle of Windex. Yeah. They think it tastes like if you just had like 2 enchiladas and somebody just sprayed Windex all over it. And they cannot believe that human beings tried this herb and they're like, yeah, this belongs on a lot of food. And I don't agree with them. I don't agree with them in the same way that I think people who like Nutella like Nutella. But it's a thing, and we got to celebrate our differences. I'm not judging you. I celebrate our differences so that we can appreciate the similarities. Anyway, this one is awesome. I'm a fan of cinema. I respect the behind the scenes of movies. I like. It's funny. Valentina's learning this. She'll watch a movie with me, and I'll just be like, what were we watching? It was Mr. Robot, and I was just like, they just don't respect the rule of thirds in any of these shots. The rule of thirds is, let me get back to my screen where you can see me so I can kind of do this. All right. So the rule of thirds is photography and film. You don't have to follow this like glue, but this is a good understanding of what a good shot or a good photo would look like. You just break horizontally and vertically the shot into thirds. So here's a third, here's a third, and then here's a third, and here's a third, right? These are the rules of thirds. If you put the focus of your subject, like my eyes, I set this, how weird does this look, right? Doesn't this just look, wouldn't that bother you if I did the entire podcast like this? Doesn't it just kind of look a little bit weird? You just kind of, you would, as a rule of thumb that I just subconsciously do, you would put your eye line, take from now on your Instagram photos, all your photos, put your eyes on the top 2/3, like right there, boom. It'll improve your photos. If you see something that you want in a photo, right? Like let's say this lamp right here, you put it in the third, it just becomes it's just a cooler focus of it. You know what I mean? everything doesn't always have to be just like right dead on like that. My point being, if you watch Mr. Robot and subsequently, I believe the O.J. Simpson show did the same thing. They film all their shots like this, like everything just, and sometimes it's even crazier. It'll be like this, like they're just talking in the courtroom and their heads are way down here in the corner. And I don't know, it's this new craze in TV shows that's going on. Check it out, look it up, Google this. It's all there. I think even SNL made fun of it. Like Leslie Jones walks over and just takes the camera and just pulls it up, and she's like, "This doesn't feel right." It just pulls it up. What am I getting at? Oh, big fan of behind the scenes. I notice his stuff, and like Valentina's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Please shut up. But this one is, I'm a big fan of this next Today I Learned, because these are the things I noticed. But as a teenager in the Bronx, Martin Scorsese frequently rented Michael Powell's The Tale of Hoffman. I don't know this movie, but I need to see it for this reason. Scorsese frequently rented Michael Powell's The Tales of Hoffman from a store that had one copy of the reel. When it wasn't available, the owner often told Scorsese, that Romero kid has it. Because there's apparently like two kids that would just come back and forth, would rent this movie. He was referring to George A. Romero, who is, of course, a pioneer genius in the horror industry. He did Day of the Dead, Night of the Living Dead. I can't believe I just butchered that. It's like the one that was made in like 1979. That like really, it's the mecca of zombie movies. But anyway, Scorsese's he's just the guy for legendary gangster movies, and Romero started the whole like horror zombie movie craze and did it right. And it's just funny that they would both go to the same corner stop and rent the same movie that I haven't seen, but I don't know if you're like me, but I want to see that movie now. I just kind of want to see what the influence was. But I thought that was interesting. It was Michael Powell's The Tales of Hoffman. And it was made in 1951, so it's not going to have like Ryan Reynolds. It's it's going to be an older movie, but I'm curious. I want to see it. All right, moving right along. This one I didn't know. This is like a skateboarding reference or a boarding reference if you want to go snowboarding, wakeboarding, this and that. I didn't know where the term goofy came from. I just kind of thought it was like, just some lingo that they used when skateboarding was being, invented and popularized, like in Santa Cruz, stuff like that. But the term goofy, which is, those of you who don't know, it's when you don't stand with your dominant foot in the back. So like let me explain this. So I'm right-handed. I would have my right hand in the back of the skateboard, so you push off when you ollie or you do tricks. Goofy is when you stand with your dominant foot in the front of the skateboard and you use your non-dominant side to push off with your strength and whatever. That was coined because of the way Goofy stood on his surfboard in the movie Mickey Mouse Hawaiian Holiday from 1937. I don't know if this is true, but usually the things that make it this high on this website, they've been kind of like fact-checked, and it goes back to something that they can at least source. But I think that's where the term goofy comes from, like Disney's Goofy, because the way he stood on surfboards, which is crazy. Oh, Mark's calling? Answer it. Let's see if Mark's got something to contribute. Hey, bud. How's it going? You want to be a part of the podcast?
Demand respect.
You what?
I said, we the people of the live chat, we demand respect.
What does that even mean, dude?
We have been talking about your show this whole time, and you won't even talk back to us. What's going on? Come on. How do I show these people what I see? How do I make like my screen bigger so that they can see what I see? Look in the bottom corner, right? Look in that bottom corner. That's all I see. I just see a screen of myself. Look right here. Right? So from now on, you just talk and you type in the live chat while you're doing your show.
You want me to chat on my keyboard so that
on your cell phone,
all the people here during the show, there's just me typing on a keyboard?
Just kidding, dude. Just wanted to call you. So you're doing a great job. Thanks, man. I'll call you back after the show. Thanks for being a part of it. Tell the people in the live chat that I love them.
Don't do shower thoughts. That's my bit.
I will not do shower thoughts. I got it. I'm probably gonna round it out here once you hang up.
You're crushing it. See
All
ya.
right, all right. Say what's up to Cooper. Bye, buddy. We the people of the chat room. I want a jersey or something to commemorate that I am a part of that community, for pure satire. Anyway, where was my train of thought? My point is, all right, I ended up with the Goofy Movie Holiday one. Okay, here we go. Last one. I'm rounding this out. I'm ending with a good one. I have two, but this other one is like, it's kind of dark. It's going to put you in a weird spot, and I just read it, and I was like, it's so interesting, but it puts you in a dark spot. I'm not ending with that one. I'm ending with this one because I'm a big supporter of a beverage called beer, and this is weird. There's people who are big advocates of marijuana usage and its medical purposes, and I love that somebody could enjoy it recreationally and it has medical purposes. But you know what? Beer just never got that reputation. You know, it is what it is. It does what it does. And most people would agree that, like, it's not healthy. You know what you're doing, but we understand why you're doing it. This will change your mind. Probably not, but maybe. Today I learned that beer hops naturally produce an acid that can kill off a parasitic mite known to annihilate entire colonies of bees. Hops have shown such promise to helping colony collapse disorder that the EPA has even approved their use as a biochemical miticide. I don't know what miticide means exactly, but I think we can all guess that it is something that is sprayed or used to kill mites. So there's these things that kill bees. And I think anybody who knows anything about basic, the way that the world works, biology, even Einstein said that if the bees all died, I think, wouldn't we all be dead in like 3 weeks or something? Bees are like a real deal. And these mites are killing bees, and hops, which is not quite beer, but we all know that they're related. They're brothers. Hops are saving the planet. Beer is saving the world. Can we just agree with that? Beer is saving the world. Beer is saving the world. So with that, I will take a sip of wine. And I'll let you guys go. Again, sorry, it's unannounced. I'm glad you guys stopped by. Hope you had a good time. I'm going to go grill some steak, take a shower, finish the vlog. Oh, I missed it, but Aaron Rodgers is on my fantasy team, and he's got to get 10 points to beat Jakey Berkey. So I'm going to get to all that. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it, and we'll see you on Monday.